In this daily drop, I'm going to talk about the still shoot that I was working on today. So let's go. All right, everybody, it's pretty late here in the barn. The debates are over, and I'm going to crank this one out. It's called the daily drop for a reason. It's not the whenever you want to shoot it gem drop, and this is no exception. So today, pretty early call time, finished packing up the vehicle with equipment and headed down to a dance school. My wife and a very good friend of ours have a photography business. They do portraits, events, architectural photography, all kinds of stuff. And when those projects happen, I basically come in as an assistant. I am helping with lighting, of course, and I'm helping with camera and all of that stuff. And I love the jigsaw puzzle of figuring out what is the right equipment that we need for a particular shoot. And for this, it was a ballet dancer who wanted to do a full session of portraits with different looks, with different outfits, all kinds of stuff. And the interesting thing is that she gave us reference photographs of things that she really liked. And then we kind of riffed off of that and created different looks and stuff like that. I've got a little bit of BTS footage. It's 9:16. Because there's some dream there that it's going to be used for social. I don't know if it ever is, but maybe I'll cut something together for that. And the person being photographed was gracious enough to let us actually show some of the photographs. What I'm going to show you today is literally just JPEGs right out of the camera. There's no editing that's been done. There's no color correction. It's just basically the way the photographs came out of the camera. So I'm not looking for, and I'm not going to show you perfect poses. That's not my expertise. I will tell you a little bit about the equipment that we used and some of the things that we did with the shoot. The first thing camera-wise is the Fujifilm X-H2S. Fantastic camera, and love this camera for stills. I brought 3 lenses. We only use this one. I brought the 16 to 55 f2.8. Great lens. We call this the juicy lens. This is the 56 f1.2, and then another juicy lens is the 90 millimeter, but that was too long for the types of shots that we need. I guess the pie's ready. So basically, this was the camera with this lens. And for the vast majority of the shoot, we were set to an f5.6. We were at a 250th on the shutter speed. And then basically, we let the ISO change slightly when needed, anywhere from I think we had it set on a low of 160 to a high of 1600 ISO. And that was the camera system. In terms of lighting, because these are getting so much more sensitive to light, we can actually do a still shoot without using strobes. And strobes are great. I love them. They are fantastic. Off-camera flash is great. But when I can walk into a space and light that space with continuous light, and I can see exactly what it is that we're getting, then I prefer that. So we set up the Nanlite Forza 500B2 as the main key light with the giant softbox, the 60-inch softbox. And what I have on there is I have actually essentially magic cloth, and then I've skinned it in front of that with the CineMilled bleached muslin, which is fantastic. I have the unbleached and the bleached muslin. I need to do a video on that particular product, which you can use with both Nanlite and Aperture 60-inch softboxes, the 120 centimeter ones. So that's the main key. The second light was a Forza 300B2, and that was being used more for fill, and that had a smaller Westcott softbox on it with essentially the equivalent of like a magic cloth in front of it. And then the third light that we used was the little Forza 60C with the projection attachment. That has a 36-degree lens on it, and then on this particular shoot, not something I do on most of my shoots, I use gobos and we tried some different looks and feels. And really, I was there to just help with the look and feel. Now, we shot on both white seamless and on a gray seamless background. When we got to the gray seamless, which is what I really prefer because I like it to be a little more dramatic, we actually used this for some of the stuff, which is Mylar. And we hung that off of a 40-inch arm, and then I hit that with the projection attachment with the Forza 60C, and we started to move that around a little bit to get some different looks. And what's really interesting is when you're doing a burst, here's 3 images in a row, you can see that one right after the other, and we were doing bursts of 10 frames, so it was pretty fast. You can see how fast that Mylar reflection is changing in the background. And then we just kind of went through the process of trying different lighting setups, different outfits, different poses, and as you can see here, it was a lot of different stuff. Again, this is just a tiny sampling right out of camera, JPEGs. We shot in RAW. These will get edited. They'll be cleaned up. Like every once in a while, you'll see there's a little piece of fabric that is hanging off of one of the outfits. Things like that. That's all going to get handled later on, you know, in post-production, as it were. So hopefully that's something that's interesting to you. As I said, it's not sort of my normal day job, but I do love doing it when we get a chance to do it. Don't forget to, and I'll see you on the next episode of The Daily Drop.